In the previous box plot, we have come with the following data. These are the summary statistics that are for the box plot for the math test B. We had a range of grades from 34 up till 74. We managed to come up with all of these summary statistics that are essential and that are necessary to come up with the box plot that we're going to draw in this tutorial right now. We have of course come up with Q1. We found its position. It was right there between the second and the third mark between the 10 students. It had a Q1 of 42.5, which was the average of 41 and 44. As for the median, it was 58.5, the 5.5th position, and as for Q3, it was equivalent to 69. Its position was between the 8th and the 9th student. Now for math test A, we're going to go ahead and do the same thing. We already have the data, the lowest and highest value. We have Q3, median, and Q1. So on a scale of 10, I'm going to put an annotation on the left side since none of the scale is useful. I'm going to first plot the points that we're going to use. We're going to use 35 for the lowest. I'm going to add a scale of 10 all the way from 30D. We have the lowest of 35. That was the lowest grade during math test A. And the highest was 69. And so I'm going to put the points, as we have learned before. Points represent the lowest and highest values. Now we're done. Let's go ahead for Q1, median, and Q3. Q1 was at 42. So I'm going to place it on the scale. The median was at 54, which we're going to add to the scale. Same for 65.5, the Q3. We draw three parallel equal length straight lines, and then we horizontally connect them, and we also connect the whiskers from the lowest and highest value all the way to Q1 and Q3 respectively. In the box plot, we have Q1 and Q3 separated in the middle by the median and connected by the whiskers to the lowest and highest value. Now this is the box plot for math test A. We're going to do on the same graph the box plot for math test B. The lowest was at 34 and the highest was at 74. And so those will be the points representing lowest and highest. Q1 was at 42.5, median was at 58.5, and Q3 was at 69. And so now we add the lowest and highest values on the graph by points, and then at 42.5, 58.5, and 69.5, we draw the three parallel straight lines that should be of equal length, of course. We connect them horizontally, and then we connect them with the whiskers. And now we have completed the box plot for math test B. What's left off is to compare the box plot for both math tests, and we can analyze them. The first thing that you can notice out of the box plot is that we have a wider range for math test B than math test A. The grades in test A were more clustered, while in math test B they were more distributed. And you can notice that since the box is way bigger for math test B than math test A. It is more distributed, so they're not as clustered as math test A. On top of that, the median for math test B is way closer to the highest grade than math test A. It was at 58.5. So this means that if the median was higher in test B, that means that the students have achieved better performance in math test B than math test A. So these are things that you can analyze. Scores of test B are slightly higher on average, with a greater spread of results than in test A. Mode A indicates a cluster lower than average scores, and that is in test A. So these are things that you can interpret when you have two box plots representing two separate sets of data. You can interpret the students' achievements in the tests, and you can find also the mode, and that indicates a cluster of lower than average of scores, and that was obvious and evident in math test A.